From the world-famous Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey, welcome to an evening with Charlie Prose.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of America's favorite entertainers, Charlie Prose.
I can be happy, I can be sad, I can be good or I can be bad. It all depends on you. I can be lonely, lost in a crowd. I can be humble or I can be proud. It all depends on you. Now I can make money or spend it, go right on living or end it. A laugh and a smile makes me go on. I know that I could be a beggar, I could be king, I could be almost any old thing. Well, it all depends on you. You're the one. I'll sing some songs for you, yes, you. You're the one. I'll tell some stories too. Sit back, forget your cares. This is no time to be blue. Whatever it takes to make you smile, I'll even dance for you. I could be a beggar, I could be king, I could be almost any old thing. Well, it all depends. It all depends. It all depends on you. Welcome to the show, folks. Well, welcome to Trump Plaza. I was playing blackjack last night downstairs next to a woman for 5 hours. She turned to me, she said, "I've been playing blackjack so long my rear end went to sleep." I said, "I know, lady, I've been listening to it snore." People are funny, you know. It don't matter where you go, either every age, every color, every nationality. We are funny creatures. I was playing the slot machines. Casinos are a great place to see funny people. I'm playing the slot machines next to a man last week. He had to be, God bless him, he was in his 90s, having the time of his life, and I'm looking at him, and something was a little different about him. I couldn't figure out what it was at first. Suddenly I realized he had a suppository in his ear. Well, I didn't want to say nothing, you know, but finally I couldn't stand it. I said, "Sir, excuse me, but do you know you have a suppository in your ear?" He said, "Now I know what I did with my hearing aid." People. And all we need in the whole world is what we're doing. We need to laugh a little bit about life. We need two things to survive. I really believe people need laughter. I mean, it's good for your body. And we need love. And I don't mean love. I mean love. You know, I mean love, but love. Sure, you know, love. And every age, too. See, the kids, I mean, the young couples, then all fine. But the older folk need, too. Just not as often, because you could get hurt. I met a couple. They have been married 63 years. They're traveling around the country in an RV. I met them here in Atlantic City. In fact, they're traveling in an RV is how I inadvertently met them. I was behind them with my car in their RV for 3 days. Yes, it's about 8 blocks is all we went. 63 years, a beautiful couple. In fact, I asked him, I said, why would you wait so long to start traveling? He said, well, we wanted to wait till all the kids were dead. And he told me he was carrying on more now, he and his wife, than they have ever in their lives after 63 years, and I think that's beautiful. I took him aside, and you know how men talk. I said to him, do you have mutual orgasm? He said, oh, no, State Farm. So we're going to talk about people tonight. Every color, every nationality. See, I think we have the best country in the whole world right here. The reason we do, I think, is because we're a mixture. How did we get this country? We took a little bit from every color, religion, nationality, threw it in the pot, stirred it up, and pasta fazool. And we all have people who gave wonderful things to the world. We all have people who are brilliant. We all have people who are not brilliant. In fact, I bet if you think about it, everyone in here knows somebody, I bet, who's a wonderful person but not real smart. You know what I mean? I mean a nice person. Maybe a good friend, but that elevator doesn't get to the top floor. See, you do know somebody. You know, I mean, a good person maybe. Like, I have a buddy, I'll give you an example. I love him, he's a wonderful friend, I've known him all my life, but he's a dummy, he's a great guy. He's been trying to sell his car. Cannot sell the car. I said, well, what's wrong with it? He said, nothing. It's got 195,000 miles on it. I said, nobody will buy that car with that mileage. He said, I met this guy, told me turn back the mileage. I talked to him last week. I said, did you sell your car yet? He said, why sell a car? It's only got 11,000 miles on it. But if you met him, you'd love him. He's a wonderful person. He came to see me. We were on the beach last summer here in Atlantic City. A seagull flew over, made a doodle right in his head. I said, wait, I'll go get some toilet paper. He said, nah. By the time you get back, that seagull's gonna be miles from here. He went up to Boston. He was telling me he was on a business trip. He went out to one of these big fancy restaurants. So he went to the men's room, and you know they have those paper potty seat covers everywhere now? He'd never seen one before. He took it out, looked at it, put it around his neck, went out and ordered lobster. His whole life's like that, but he's a good guy. Here's a little boy. His son is about 15 months old. I go to his house, and we're watching television, and his kid is running around in front of the television. Back and forth, had nothing on but one of them little pamper diapers. 45 minutes. It was about 106 degrees in the house. There were fumes coming from this child. Oh, you know, when you buy gasoline on a real hot day, you know right where you're pouring it into the gas tank, how the air gets wavy right there? The air was wavy around this kid. This kid was loaded. So I says to him, I says, do you think maybe I ought to change the kid? He says, oh, it ain't time yet. Says on the box, they're good for 16 to 18 pounds. But he's my buddy, I love him. So I know about children. I have 3 of them. I have one of each. See, when my little girls were little and they wanted to go to sleep at night, I would kneel by their bedside and I would sing beautiful songs like, "Quiero amare cuando bello." They were out. Now today, what does a young father have today? A little baby says, "Sing me a song to go to sleep today." What is that man gonna sing? "I love that old time of rock and roll. You know the kind that suits my soul." That kid would be up for a year. You know what children teach us? Children show us how the world is changing. Look at the toys. You talk about how this world has changed. Tell me, did any of you ever think you would go out to buy a child, a teenage mutant ninja turtle? Did you ever in your life think you'd see toys for $229.95 that did absolutely nothing until you put $85 worth of batteries in them? You ever think you'd see these stores they have? Child World, Kitty City, Toys R Us, and your wallet too. You know whose fault it is? You know who did it? We did it. I saw this coming when my one daughter, my Michelle, when she was 7 years old. For her birthday, I told her, "Honey, I'm going to get you anything you want in the world." I had saved $50, which was a lot of money to me then. She said, "Daddy, I want a Barbie doll." I went to Woolworths. That's where we shopped for toys. They had 2 shelves. You even could find them. You knew exactly where to go. Toys, there was toiletries, toilets, towels, and toys, I think it was. If you could read, you could find them. That little doll cost me $2. I could buy my child's every wish for $2 and still have $48 left for Daddy's medicine. It was a wonderful time in the history of the earth. I wrapped that little doll up. I gave it to her. Have you ever seen anything more beautiful in your life than the smile of a little girl when she gets something she wants? She opened that present. "Oh, I love her, Daddy." And in the same breath, she said, "Oh, but Barbie needs some clothes, Dad." Well, I said, "Certainly. How much could clothes cost for a little tiny doll?" $357 later, Miss Barbie had her wardrobe. And that was just the beginning. Barbie needed a place to live. $49.95 for the official Barbie townhouse. It had 14 rooms. The town I grew up in didn't have 14 rooms. Barbie needed the swimming pool for behind the townhouse. $11.95 for the plastic water for the swimming pool. Barbie needed the pony with the corral and the little saddle for riding around the neighborhood. Barbie needed the little hairdryer so she could go out at night. By the time little Barbie got done with Big Daddy, it cost me $750. I'd have been better off with Zsa Zsa Gabor. Then my daughter says to me, "Daddy, Barbie's lonesome." And I heard about Ken. Well, it was time to prove that fathers are definitely smarter than their children. I said to myself, you have to outfox the kid. I said, "Sweetheart, this is a Catholic family. I know Ken and Barbie love each other, but they're not married and they're not allowed to live together in that dollhouse." The wedding cost me $800. I had over $1,500 tied up in Ken and Barbie in their little love nest. I don't think their marriage is working out. 2 months after the wedding, I find a G.I. Joe hiding in the closet. And my whole point is that we didn't have that kind of stuff when we were kids. When I was a little boy, you know what I played with when I was a little boy? This is the midnight crowd in here. That's like the father. He said to his little boy, don't touch yourself, son, you're gonna go blind. The kid said, yo, Dad, I'm over here. We had Ta Roos to play with. Ta Roos. There you go. The Ta Roos was the little cardboard thing that was left when the toilet paper was gone. There they are. There's a whole band, the Ta Roos band up there. We used to walk around the house with them. Every child in the world could play with Ta Roos. They were free. It didn't even matter what nationality you were. Ta Roos knew. Little Greek children played with them. Little Italian kids had them. Little black kids had them. I got my Ta Roos, have some fun. Brothers on the pot, gonna get you on. Little Jewish kids had them. God bless little Jewish kids, but they had no rhythm. See, to really know about rhythm, you had to be Catholic. Two things we knew about, rhythm and bingo. Because if you didn't have rhythm, bingo. But it's all different today. Everything changes. Today it's electronic. That is the word, electronic. My children, the little girls I talk about are not little girls anymore. One is now a young nurse. My baby's in college. They're buying me things. They went out and bought me a VCR. I have this modern miracle of electronic wizardry sitting on top of my television for 6 months. You know what I've seen on it so far? A little green 12 o'clock blinking on and off like this. And it's driving me crazy. And then your children have the nerve, these are the children you raise to have respect, will get right up in your face and say, Daddy, just read the directions. Now tell me truthfully, have you tried reading, fellas, the directions that come with those things, right? Now the little wife's got to get a shot at you. The English is on the other side, sweetheart. I knew that. Is the English any easier? Take the coaxial Y57J megahertz condenser cable with the 17-prong adapter unit of the 5J condensing decelerization unit attached. Shouldn't have no trouble finding that sucker in this box. Run it directly into the lower, upper, left, right, center, around the corner, by the side, towards the front, by the back. plug it in. Now on the Q band, the 9J57BJ condenser cable with the 7 megahertz, being careful not to open a hole in the ozone layer over Wilkes-Barre. Run it directly into your RCA unless you have a Zenith. In which case, you just better get a tooth-throw out, because you ain't watching no TV this weekend. I did everything I was supposed to do. I turned it on. You know what I got? 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. See, you know, I'm not against progress. I think progress is wonderful, stuff that would help humanity. But there is also an old saying that says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. When I was a kid, when we got sick, the doctor came to your home. I know everybody's too busy for that stuff now, but I let people in my house. I do. I love people. I'm the only person ever let a Jehovah's Witness in my house. The man looked lonely. He said, this is the first time I've ever seen the inside of a house. We got sick. We all got sick together when I was a little kid. We all got the same germs. We lived together. The doctor would come. He'd look at 5 little heinies. Boom, boom, boom. A pill, a shot, $3. We hit a group rate. 5 heinies for 3. Now you call up. You got a lady who you don't know. She don't know the doctor. The doctor don't know you. You don't know her. Nobody knows nobody. She says the doctor will not be in till February 39th. Go directly to Brothers Hospital. I said, well, there is no Brothers Hospital. Yes, there is. It's a general hospital. The doctor's brother owns it. Now, when you get to the hospital, that's another story altogether. I have just had my first visit ever to a hospital. I've been a very fortunate man. Never went to a hospital. Well, nothing serious, but I had to go. I ripped a nail off my thumb. And I know that's not life-threatening, but it's very painful. And if you know anything, ladies, about Italian men, we're not good with pain. Especially our own. 2 things, no pain and we don't like to fight, believe it or not. Even that big war, as soon as we found out, we were on the wrong side. Don't shoot. I'm not gonna hurt nobody. We're gonna have a nice wine and maybe later on a ba-boom, ba-boom, but no fight. Well, I tell you about my visit to the hospital. So I go in with my short thumb. I said, please fix my thumb. They took me in a room. They took my clothes off me. Now I have a short thumb, but I'm naked. Some man came into the room. I thought he was a doctor. Turned out to be a total stranger. Looked at me, said, hi, shorty, and left. I said, could I have something to put on, please? They gave me one of them hospital gowns. You know the kind of garment I'm talking about? One size fits nobody. Now, this thing you can wear in the front or the back. You cannot wear it in 2 places at one time. I put mine on in the front in case that guy wasn't talking about my boots. Shorter without my boots. I said, may I have a room, please? Well, they won't give you a room in a hospital unless they know you can pay for it. So they have to check your insurance. So they put you on a cot while they check your insurance. Where do you think they put the cot? Yeah, in the public hallway. I'm laying on a cot in the public hallway, my nose to the wall, my butt to the hall. Total strangers are walking in and out, tour buses driving through. There's always one little kid who'll walk right by you, caught high. I finally got my room. I got all snuggled in, and I met my first nurse. God bless this little angel of mercy. The door to the room gently opened. And there she stood, this beautiful vision, with that big smile and that look of hope on her face. 311 pounds of angel of mercy. dressed in white from her nose to her toes. She held up a little bottle and approached my bed. Looked like a blizzard coming at me. Her first gentle words of encouragement to me, "Did we make our wee-wee today?" I said to myself, boy, am I in serious trouble here. God bless her. She came to my room every day for 4 days religiously with that little bottle. Paul came to visit me. I said, Paul, remember? I said, bring me a little apple juice. I did. I poured it in that little bottle. She came in the next morning. I said, there it is. She said, well, it looks a little cloudy today. I said, well, give it back. I'll run it through one more time. She fainted on the spot. They keep changing things. Well, our church, for instance, they took Latin out of our church. Now, anybody can come in our church, figure out what's going on. See, when it was in Latin, everything was in code. Only the Catholics knew. When the priest turned around and said, that really meant Sunday papers on sale in the lobby. We had a priest, he used to call all the bingo numbers in Latin so the Protestants could never win. You know the one thing that we got that I truly hope never goes out of style? We got a lot of love when I was a little kid. We got a lot of hugs and a lot of kisses, and we need that. Oh, little kids need that real bad. I was on a cruise ship, and I saw on this ship so many little children, and that amazed me because I thought, look at this, on luxury liners, little kids. When I was that big, if I'd have said to my pop, hey, Dad, let's go on a cruise. That's how he got here. You wanted to cruise? Aha, sure, I'm going to give you a cruise. But you see, we want to give more to our children than we had. Our parents wanted to give us more than they had, and their parents more than them. The ships, well, you've been on those ships. So many, a lot of older businessmen on these ships with their younger daughters. My cabin on the ship I was on, Paul, my cabin had mirrors on the ceiling, which is really dumb. I mean, you have to lay down to tie your tie. It really did. My whole ceiling in my cabin was nothing but mirrors. And then there was a note on the nightstand, said, objects in mirrors appear to be larger than they actually are. We got a lot of love. I grew up in a little town called Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania, not far from here in the coal mines. I went with a girl in high school who had the biggest belly button in Mount Carmel. She used to carry the flag in the parades. We had a grocery store, a family business. My mother, my father, 4 boys, and my baby sister. My mother watched the front of the store, the register, and my sister. Those 3 never left her sight. My father watched the back of the store and his 4 boys. And we never needed Dr. Ruth. Your daddy took care of that stuff. Once a week, Pop would take us in the back, line us up, the 4 boys, and give us the lecture of life. I remember him saying things like, 20 minutes, never said a word, but we knew what he was telling us. But you see, he loved us. He was afraid for us. All the things that were out there that could hurt his boys. Many times he said things to me like, Vidi, Vidi, A, B, C, Vidi. Vidi is a spread to buy flies. You keep yours closed. You know, to this day, I still seek out my father's advice, because how do you learn about life? You have to live it. He lived it longer than I have. I believe he knows more than I do. I spent some time at home not long ago. I slept in the bed I grew up in. I hadn't done that in many years. One of those nights, my papa and I stayed up late, and we talked, just the two of us. I said, Dad, you know, there's a lot of new things going around in the world today, Dad. I said, Dad, can you get that there AIDS from sitting on a potty seat? He said, only if the guy sitting there before you not to get up yet. But you know, I think back, and my father always had advice for us. When I left home, I was 16 years old. I wanted to be in show business so bad. This is all I've ever wanted to do. So at 16, I said, I'm leaving home. I'm going to New York. I'm going to seek my fame and my fortune. Well, my family gave me a beautiful set of matching luggage, and I'll never forget that night. I put all my clothes in those 2 shopping bags. I got on that Trailways bus out of town. And as the bus drove out with the dust and the smoke and the coal fumes, and there was my pop. And the last thing he said to me, I'll never forget, he said, never married no lady with the bigger hands. I said, why, Pop? He said, they're going to make your pee-pee look small. You know, sometimes we think so many things change, and yet sometimes some things never change. I was talking to a young fella who was 16 years old not long ago, and he was telling me what was wrong with the world today. And if you really want to find out what's wrong, you talk to a 16-year-old kid. They'll tell you. And they know. If you don't believe they don't know, you ask them. They'll tell you they know. He said, Charlie, the problem that we're having today is we don't have any heroes. He said, when you were growing up, you had John Wayne, you had Roy Rogers. When you were ready to vote, you voted for Kennedy and Eisenhower. When we're ready to vote, we vote and they go to jail. No heroes. And you know, I looked at him and I said, young man, you're wrong. There are just as many heroes out there today. What went wrong is we don't know how to recognize them anymore. We think a hero is somebody that makes movies. A hero has to be on television. A hero has to have all the money. We have to read their name in the newspaper. Well, that isn't necessarily what a hero is. Sometimes a hero can be just a guy who struggles through life doing the best he can for his family. Goes to work every day. He loves his children. He loves his wife. A hero can be a lady who's got 2 jobs and then comes home after that and does the toughest one of all, take care of her husband and her babies. We don't ever think about them as heroes because, you see, they never ask for anything. They don't want recognition. They don't care if they're on television. All they want is to see their family happy. How do you tell that kind of a hero how special they are? How do you tell them how much they mean to you and what they've given you, how much it's helped you? It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine. You always walked one step behind. I was the one with all that glory, while you were the one with all that strain. Only a face without a name. I never once heard you complain. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything that I want to be. I can fly higher, higher than that eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. Oh, it might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've got it all right here in my heart. I want you to know that I know the truth. I would be nothing without you. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything that I want to be. And I can fly higher, higher than that eagle. You are the wind beneath my wings. You know, when I look back, I have no memory of them as ever being real young. I don't ever remember them as being young, passionate lovers. Oh, I'm sure that they were. My first memory of them, I think, was when I took my first steps. It seemed that they were there. So afraid I'd fall, so happy I'd taken those steps. When I had my first little successes, they were there, so proud. My first little failures, they were there to say, well, try it again. When I thought I could conquer the world, they were there to say, yes, you can. When I found out that I couldn't, they were there to say, well, it's all right. You don't have to. And when I had my first bad troubles in my life, and I looked around me and all of those that I thought were my friends had suddenly disappeared, and I felt like the loneliest man on earth, you know, I looked behind me and there they were again, with arms open wide, ready to give anything and everything they had for me, never asking. Now, we did not always agree on everything. Oh, no. And I will not always have them. But I will always have that little sparkle of my father's eye. I will always have the love and warmth of my mother's heart. Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I want to be. I can fly higher, higher You are the wind beneath my wings. You are the wind. You are the wind. You are the wind beneath my wings. Whew. Can I play the piano for you a little bit? All right. Well, I'm going to do the ever popular Chopin's mayonnaise. I can do it. 57 in the book. Hold up, Paul. Wait a minute. Just take a minute. This lady. No, this is a good one. This lady went to the dentist, and she sat in the dentist chair, and the dentist bent over her, and she reached up and gave him a little squeeze. He said, well. She said, well, hell, we're not going to hurt each other, are we? Oh, hold up a minute, Paul. Sometimes in life you just need somebody to talk to. Somebody that understands. Little Chinese man. This one's a dandy. God bless him, he was all alone. He was out late one night looking for a friend, someone to talk to. Well, he found a woman of the night. He said to her, oh, good to see you. Good to see you. How much do you want? She said, $50. He said, oh, that's a good price, $50. You're having a sale, huh? Okie dokie. You come up in my room. Motel 6. We'll keep a right on for you. They went up to the room, they got into bed, the little guy went crazy. Oh, ah, oh, oh, ah, oh. He rolled out of bed, he kicked his feet, rolled under the bed, rolled out the other side, got back in the bed. Oh, ah, oh. He rolled out of bed, he kicked his feet, rolled under the bed, rolled out the other side, got back in the bed. Oh, ah. She said, this guy's a Looney Tune. Oh, ah. He rolled out of bed, he kicked his feet, rolled under the bed, rolled out the other side, got back in the bed. Oh, ah, oh. She rolled out of bed, rolled under the bed, bumped into 12 more Chinamen. Just one more, Paul. This here fella was looking down at the ocean from a big high cliff up in Scranton. Boy, look at the ocean pounding on the rocks down there. Oh, he fell off the cliff. There he is falling to a certain death on the rocks below. And he reached out and by chance grabbed a branch growing out of the side of the cliff. Help! Help! Is there anybody out there? Anybody? All of a sudden, this voice from out of nowhere. This is God. Oh, God, God, good God, God, help. Do you believe in God? I believe. let go of the branch.
Is there anybody else up there?
Two cowboys were drinking in a bar. And the one cowboy left early. You know how buddies always play jokes on each other. Well, as soon as he got outside the bar, he figured, now's my chance. He took the saddle right off of his partner's horse, put it right back on the horse backwards. The next morning, he woke up his partner. Well, Pilgrim, how late was your drinking last night? His partner said, I had a heck of a night. I drank till about 1:15. When I come out of the bar, some son of a gun cut my horse's head off. I had to keep my finger in his windpipe all the way home. Had really bad breath, too. I want to do a country and western song for you. All right? I have fallen in love with country music. I see those guys, those country singers come out on stage, start singing them love songs, and the women get crazy. The women start throwing stuff up on stage, good stuff too. I need one of them songs really bad. So I went to a buddy of mine and I asked him, I said, would you write me one of them country songs? He came and he saw me work. He wrote this song. He said, Charlie, this is you. This is your country song. Well, I recorded it, and this is really kind of the debut of that song. It's my country song. I hope you like it. It's a love song. I'm gonna start lifting weights again this summer. I'll cut down on my intake of beer. 'Cause when I'm in the all-together, looking back at myself in the mirror, I remember when I was a young lad with a body so sleek and slim. Now every time a pretty girl goes by, I got to force myself to suck it in. Suck it in, suck it in. How I wish that I was thin. Man, it sure hurts my pride. I'm feeling kind of wide, but it's almost a sin. Suck it in, suck it in. Must I do this again? I tuck it away, and I hold my breath and I pray. Pops out again. Whoa, yeah. I think it's that one extra meatball Sundays with the spaghetti that's doing it. I'm going back on my diet tomorrow. I'll cut down on my calories, my dear. You see, I know I have the willpower, though I can't see my toot-a-doo from here. One day I will be slender. I'll be wearing all them new fancy clothes. So you better stop calling me chubby. Chubby. Or I'll pop you right in the nose. Suck it in, suck it in. Oh, I wish that I was thin. Man, it sure hurts my pride. You see, I'm feeling kind of wide. Well, it's almost a sin. Suck it in, suck it in. Must I do this again? I tuck it away, and I hold my breath and I pray, but it pops out again. One more time. Whoa, suck it in, suck it in. Oh, I wish that I was thin. Man, it sure hurts my pride when I'm feeling kind of wide, but it's almost a sin. Don't cancel that pizza from Paisano's. No double cheese tonight, half pepperoni. Have it delivered in the back to the boys in the band. You'll understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Prose! Charlie Prose, yeah! Come on, one more time. Suck it in, suck it in. Yeah, let me hear you.
I wish that I was thin. Man, it sure hurts my pride. Well, I'm feeling kind of wide. Well, it's almost a sin. Let me hear you now. Whoa, suck it in, suck it in. Must I do this again? Well, now I tuck it away, and I hold my breath and I pray, but it pops out again. Whoa. You know, all we really need in the whole world, I believe, is what we are doing right now. if we could just get all the politicians together to do this. Laugh a little bit about life, sing a couple of songs together. No one would ever want to fight. There is a marvelous song that says exactly what I'm trying to get to here, and I don't think I could say it any better than this song. I could sit around and make a little music all night long. Woo! Get down. I bet. You see, Paul, that's Italian soul. You know, like they have reggae music, that there's called ragu. As long as I'm making music, I can do nobody no wrong. Maybe someday I'll come up with just a little song that would make people all over this world stop fussing and all this fighting long enough to sing along. I believe in music. I believe in love, well, yes I do. I believe in music. Oh, I believe in love. Well, now music is the universal language and love is the key. To peace, understanding, brotherhood, living in harmony. Grab your brother by the hand, come on, sing along with me. Just raise your voices to the sky. God loves you when you sing. You ready? I believe in music. Oh, I believe in love. Well, yes, I do. I believe in music. Oh, I believe in love. Well, put your hand in the hand of the man who fills the water. Come on, let me hear you. Put your hand in the hand of the man who calms the sea. Now take a look at yourself, and you're gonna look at others differently. Put your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. One more time now. Well, every time I look into that holy book, I want to tremble. Yes, I do. When I read the pot, now the carpenter, he cleared that temple. For the scribes and the sellers, no different fellas than what I propose to do. Put your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. One more time, everybody with me. Well, put your hand in the hand of the man who stills the water. Yeah, yeah. Put your hand in the hand of the man. Save that for me, I'll be back for that. Calms the sea. Now take a look at yourself, and you're gonna look at others differently. Put your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. Here we go, Paul. 2, 3, Paul. Jeremiah was a bullfrog. He was a good friend of mine. Let me hear that. I never understood a single word he said, but he made mighty fine wine. And I helped him drink his wine. You ready? Come on. Now joy to the world, all the boys and girls. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Michael, joy to you and me. One more time. Well, now joy to the world, all boys and girls. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. This land is your land. know, I said this earlier. I will say it again. We really do have the most wonderful country in the whole world right here in this country. Sure we do. Do you know why I believe it is so wonderful? Not because of these magnificent hotels, not because of the beautiful rivers and mountains. Nah. The real beauty in this country is in its people. You see, it's very important not to forget where you come from. You got to remember that your people were Irish, or Polish, or German, or Hungarian, or Italian. You got to remember white and black and Jewish and Catholic and Protestant, and oh, I could go on, because you see, we have one of everybody here, and that's what makes it special. It's important to remember that, but it's also important to remember that we're Americans. I know I'm waving the flag. That's all right. You know what? Everybody else waves theirs, and it don't hurt us to wave ours a little bit. We have something special here. It's special because it's called freedom. Now, nothing's for free. You know, those of you who've been comped in these casinos know nothing is free. I know I had 2 free scotch and sodas downstairs the other night. Cost me $1,100. Well, there are people who have paid for this wonderful thing called freedom, and I would like to leave you with this wonderful song. I think every kid in America should learn this song because it celebrates those people who have given many things for us and for our children. I hope you feel the same way. I thank you for sharing some time with us and your kindness. It's a special song. If tomorrow all the things were gone that I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, I'd thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where that flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. Hey, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave this right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you. I'll defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, from New York to LA, there's pride in every American's heart, and it's time we stand and say, hey, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave this right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you, and I'll defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave this right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you. I'll defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Prose.
The part of Charlie Prose was played by Dan Quayle.